Explain the audience principle to you. If you insult and accost them, then we have no audience.
He started it, fucking cock knocker.
Yeah? Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
Do you have any idea what time it is? It's 11:30 p.m. It's time to relaunch the Better Late Show with Dr.Ben.
So disgusting.
Here we are, live once again.
Oh,
So,
oh man. Oh, I'm not decent. Oh no. Oh man. Oh, I'm not decent. Oh no.
okay, I just had to make sure. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm always paranoid. I'm gonna mess up the audio once again and like have it muted. Be like standing here the whole time. Whoop, 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 whoop. Like everyone's a bee. No one will watch. You know. exactly. Well, so
hello, interwebs. Can you hear us? Because we can hear you.
yeah, no, it worked out there. That's what I'm saying. It's all. So, I figured kind of switch it up. Well, for one, we got Daniel Doing with us tonight. Do sort of an interview. He's the creator, writer, the letterer of. Well, did you saw? I did like an overview of the whole Fringe Knight series.
I did. How dare you say such things about my mother? How dare you, sir?
Well, it's you can't stop the truth.
That's sensationalist journalism, and we will not have that in this country. How dare you?
That's what we're founded on, is the freedom to. I've heard lots of rumors, as what I will say. I'll preface them by saying allegedly, but
allegedly.
Allegedly, it's been rumored. Some have said. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I figured it'd be a good.
I don't see the pink tutu, so it must be all good so far.
That's usually after when we hit the midway point, then I switch up everything. Yeah.
Get the lube ready with the pink tutu.
Yeah, I find that helps weed out the real, the true, like the devoted viewers from just the tourists.
Damn tourists, anyways.
So you've got. How do I share that thing again? Is it this? No, I gotta share the other thing. That's what it is? Stop that.
Share this thing and then share that thing. He's gonna share this thing.
Here we go. I've been figuring this all out. So issue 7. That's what I figured you want to like highlight. You're up to issue 7 of the Fringe Knight. Everyone who knows, the Fringe Knight is Erie's own hero, and written by Daniel Doing. You would probably be better to say your art team's. How would you describe your art team there?
Our team was a bit rotational in the beginning, but I've got a good team locked down now. So
right.
It was very interesting. It's interesting how many people you meet on the internet. That's as cliched as that is to say.
Right.
Back when I initially had the idea, I had an ash can issue that I had done with a gentleman from over in New York somewhere. And then when I did my first issue, again, couldn't do much. I worked with a very nice artist from down in Argentina who did a lot of work and got it refined as best he could before he ended up becoming a political prisoner at a rally. So,
well, you know, that was
lost
you know,
touch with him, unfortunately. And
could
then
could potentially be an aspect of the ancient order of knowledge seeping through to prevent people from actually learning about it. I mean,
you never know. The
huh.
order of knowledge is always watching, as we all know.
Yeah. Huh. That's, I mean, that is, I mean, that's unfortunate, definitely. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I always see their, like South American countries seem to always be in a state of turmoil, like
It's
often.
a
So
lot of hands and a lot of pots down there. That's what it
yes.
always seems like.
Right. Well, but nonetheless, you couldn't stop the Fringe Night.
Oh
So
no, can't stop the French now, baby. He's on a roll, and now he's going to be taking on Krampus. And in the not too distant future.
excellent, excellent. And that will be, what is this? This is the second, so that's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
2
the
weeks.
third Saturday in December at Captain's Comics
Yeah.
Toys
And 7th issue of Fringe Knight. Excellent, excellent. Well, cool. Well, cool. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I figured we could talk about that. We could show the current artist is also a political prisoner, or no? Are they
No.
they're free?
No,
Is that
he's free. Just he's had a very busy schedule. But my
okay?
my current mainstay artist, very very wonderful gentleman by the name of Javier Lugo, lives down in
Oh
Florida.
yeah.
Yeah, he's worked on a few books in the past. A very very talented artist, way more talented than I have any business talking to him. He's done a lot of like page work for me. He's done some covers. He did the cover for issue 6, and he also did the last, I believe it was 5 pages in issue 5, and he's also finishing up the last 10 pages in issue 7. And then going forward, he's going to be the main artist.
Yeah, that's one. Jeez, well now I have it all backwards. Hold on, there we go. Okay. Uh-oh, I didn't like mess this up again, did I? No.
I know that guy.
Okay, that's all I wanted to do was to be able to make sure I can see. Yeah, this is your website for
That
it
is
because
the home of the Fringe Knight. So if you can't make it to Captain's or to any local comic shops, you can order the Fringe Knight directly to you.
excellent. Does this have a list of like the shops that have it, or is that because I should have looked at that before I looked.
This is all the stuff I have available online.
Okay. So we
You know,
got
if you want Fringe Knight at your local comic shops, let them know. Tell them to get in touch with me.
excellent. Wait, hey, that's the same shirt I got. What the? Excellent.
Hey, yeah. What's going
Wait a
on here,
second.
mister?
Is that you? You got the same shirt too. Wait a second.
Yeah.
And we got people have got to know. Okay, the Fringe Knight action figure is $40,
Yes.
and like these are. Does it have more pictures in here, or is it's just a clearer picture?
There's a picture right there. I'm working on getting some more beauty shots of him, doing some
Right.
more like action shots. I've got a whole bunch of them posted on like Instagram and stuff.
Okay. Well, I can bring that up too. But yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is like looking at this. Maybe if you can explain, like you make these yourself. These are all.
Yes, I'm not going through
Oh.
any big companies. I'm using my very own 3D printer,
Oh, right on.
and I am making these myself. I scaled them at about 7 inches, and as I like to say, I took the best of both worlds from McFarlane figures and from Hasbro figures. So it's got the scale of a McFarlane with about as many points of articulation as a Hasbro figure.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, like I've seen them in person. Obviously, I've held, I haven't gotten one yet because the animals over here I've got, they eat everything. I can't keep toys on the premises. But it's like an awesome toy. Right. And that's, I showed off the video of the other one, the Krampus. That was like the Krampus like prototype kind of toy, right? Like,
no, that was actually our first issue monster, the Wendigo Man.
Oh, okay. And then, like, I just watched that. I remember now the Wendigo Man. Yes. How that's what I'm saying is, like, I showed those off in the video of the overview, and I mean they're like, they're quality toys. That's what I'm saying. They're not. I would think if I were to make a toy, like, it would not be it'd be like a rock, like with some paint on it or something. And this is like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's a legit, like, it's an action figure. It's like, it's just like other action figure. Like, I was like looking at it, and I'm just like, you did this yourself? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
that like blows me away.
All fabric.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. That's the part that blows me away, is that you're doing all this. You're not, I mean, you're not printing the comics yourself. You're having those. You go through
No, I go through a Kablam to get the books printed up.
Right.
I'm saving
okay.
up to get that big old printer myself, but
Yeah, I would imagine that would be, oof. I don't know. I've been like doing like printing my own comics and mini comics and zines and stuff for like, a decade or whatever, right? And it's like only now I've got one that someone gave me that like works, that like I haven't been having like any problems with, like that's one of the things, like printers are just
especially if you want to, like, because you're able to print them in, like, it's literally like taking an 8x10 piece of paper and folding it over and stapling it. Like, trying to actually do an actual standard size comic, man, you've got to go to some sort of service for that, because no printer really does that.
Well, you can get like one that would print like, what do they, I think they maybe call it like tabloids, like magazine size, right? And then you'd have to trim them. That way you could do like full bleed or whatever, unless it would print. I don't know. It's a lot of work. Is what I would know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and keeping the printer like running right, and no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine.
Oh yeah.
No,
well, that's what I did with my first ash can issue, and it was just such a pain in the ass that really, just for now, going through service, it really is the way to go.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
so many of them are, very, like, they'll work with you if you've got like a Kickstarter for an issue and stuff like that. I really don't do a whole lot of like the Kickstarter, because honestly, if I can get the book made, then I just get as many issues as needed, and then if more needed, I just order more.
Right.
I don't try to go for some large quantity number, because I'm not fancy yet. I don't have like Stanley. I don't have Todd McFarlane numbers. I've got Dan doing numbers, and those are barely in the triple digits right now. So,
no, that's triple digits. I mean, it's still like you're getting into the hundreds there. I mean, that's, well, I mean, how long you're on this? You're coming out with the 7th issue. When did you start? When did the first issue came out?
First issue, the Ash Can I did first came out at the first ever Erie Comic Con back in, it was September of 2017.
Okay. So that's like
It's been about 7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Doing
So that's
getting about an issue a year out.
all right. Well, that's. I mean, you work like full time and stuff too. Like it's not like you're.
Oh yeah, I work full time.
You get
I
to lounge
write
around
full time. Again, I'm waiting for that Stan Lee money so I can just like sit around and be like, oh, I'll write this issue this week. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you that then, since you bring up Stanley, like what sort of what are your influences? Like, what is it you want you want Fringe Knight to be?
Really, I grew up with a lot of like influences because, quite honestly, up until about third grade, I was a terrible reader, even worse writer. Lefty. But the school I was going to, they wanted to like put me on all these special programs and stuff. And my mom was like, no, to hell with that. Took me to the local comic shop and took me in and was like, okay, because this was back when you could still get like back issues for like a quarter. Here's $5.
Right.
See something you like, pick it out. We're gonna get. I left with like a stack this big of like old like 80s Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like leading up to and during like the whole Black Suit saga and everything. So I got to see some like the really good old school like Spider-Man, and then literally within a summer, went from reading like being in third grade, going from like maybe a first grade level to like friggin' high school level reading.
Right on. Yeah, that's. Was it?
Moral of the story is, you want your kids to read, get them comics.
So that's what I'm saying. Is that you would attribute it to comics? Like once you started reading them, you were like, that was like when it just clicked. You were like, oh, okay, I get it. All right.
Like the brain just like finally shifted into gear and everything. And just as I got older, just like getting that, like, because when you're younger, you really don't think about like the writers or anything. Just like, oh, this is a good looking book. But I remember specifically when I actually started to notice that I had a favorite writer. I had like a favorite artist on a book. What other books do they work on? Would I like them, kind of thing. And it was when they did Green Lantern Rebirth in 2004, I believe. It had Jeff Johns writing it with the incredible Ethan Van Sciver doing the pencils and inks for it.
Right.
And just, that was when I was like, I wanted to peek behind the curtain. I wanted to be like, oh man, what else has this guy written? What else has this guy drawn? And just went from there. Just, again, that little peek behind the curtain, I'm just like, fell down the rabbit hole, basically. Pardon the pun.
Right on.
And just,
Jeff Johns is pretty he is pretty good from what I understand. Like the main thing I've read by him is when they were doing that 52 series before they had the whole reset and everything, like
the 52 weekly comic. Again,
that was
those who can do the weekly books, man. I give you guys credit. We will send you all the cigarettes and coffee you need, man.
That was just like amazing. Like I remember just like that was like kind of like what got me back into comics for a bit. Like I had, like I had comics as like a kid and a teenager, and then probably kind of stopped really following them like at the time I was like 17 or 18 and started like dating and chasing girls, right?
Those girls getting in the way of the comics, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would get some, like I'd go and like find like there's something that looked like really cool and it was like alternative. Like I got a lot of the Fantagraphic stuff then in the Crow. I had to go and get the Crow because but I wasn't like following anything like to know like anything about, like as a kid I would like follow like all the different artists, like what they did, but then like once it's like a soap opera. Once you're like out of it for a couple episodes, like,
and you come back like, wait, who's this Julio? Why is he saying he has a twin brother trying to date Rebecca? What's going on here?
There's 2 Kubert brothers? What the? Wait a second. Oh my gosh. Andy's okay, but Adam isn't? Wait a minute. How can
When was it revealed Stacy was actually her brother Steven the entire time?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's, and then that's what I'm saying, like, when you kind of casually come and go, like reading comics, like you come back and it's all that just
And
too much of the so that's what I'm saying. Like I left for a while and then I came back and it was like, wow, like a weekly comic. They're like every week it's like part of the story, and it's like, and it was like him, it was Jeff Johns was writing that 52 series, Grant Morrison,
yep.
Greg Rucka,
Oh
Mark
man,
Waid.
he is on a whole nother level.
And it was like that's what, like, and they had all those like art team. That's what I'm saying. I was like watching it and I'm just like, this is just, it's fantastic. Like all these teams of people, and they're all, I mean, I don't know how the actual like creation of the 52 series was. It probably wasn't anything like I imagined.
It's like
but
this whole, like they get everybody into it and they're like, okay, you're taking these pages, you're taking these pages, you're taking this arc, you're taking this arc.
Right, they all come back. Okay, what do you think? Okay, all right. Like there's probably wasn't that, but I like to imagine that, like that it was like a big, I mean, who knows? That's what I'm saying. Who knows? I mean, I guess that would be something to look for, maybe in like interviews with those guys or whatever, to find out if they ever discussed
and it's so
but,
funny because like nowadays you get like a lot of like the cameos from writers and stuff, and it's always like a fun little wink and a nod. But there was one that stuck with me because in Titans, they did this whole thing with a Beast Boy, and he's like basically falling through the multiverse, which apparently Beast Boy does that now.
okay.
I get okay, and he's seeing all the different like multiverse stuff, and there's literally a scene where you see a window open up, and there's freaking Grant Morrison reading Doom Patrol. He looks straight. He's like, "I can see you. Can you see me?" I am fully convinced that is how his brain works all the time. He is peering into the multiverse, and it has driven him mad with power.
Well, possibly. Yeah, I mean, Grant's definitely like there's something he's tapped into with writing comic books and being good at it, at least. And
like his JLA run, that I remember that being again, I was like a young adult going and getting the trades of that and reading it, and I'm just being like,
right on, right. See, that's like that came out like in the period where I was like not getting comics, but I remember seeing that and being like, Grant Morrison's writing Justice League, what? Because like when I would think of Grant Morrison, I would think of like Invisibles and his Doom Patrol stuff and like all of that stuff. And I loved all that, like Sebastian O, like that weird like Victorian steampunk like murder mystery or whatever, like like, and then like just all the different books he would do. I was like, wow, okay. Arkham Asylum, of course,
oh, of course.
And I'm like, they just have him writing Justice League. What the heck? What is going on?
And he crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
See that I'm gonna have to look into it because I've never read his JLA stuff. His X-Men stuff. I got his X-Men stuff and I love it. And
oh yeah. I can honestly, and that was like kind of a shame on me thing because I was like, oh, you're gonna read, because I saw and I had this conversation with my brother like, oh, you're gonna read Grant Morrison's. That's what I was like, well, no, because I already read Grant Morrison JLA. I mean, I don't really see what it's a big team book, and Grant Morrison's writing. It's gonna be bonkers. I've already read that with Justice League, and that could be a goofy way of looking at it, but it is kind of like on my back burner kind of thing. Like I cherry picked a few issues I looked through, but like when I was in middle going into high school, the real big thing was like, the Ultimate comics, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, the heck with the Grandpa's Avengers. The Ultimates is where it's at, man.
That's right. You can keep all your old twisted continuity of. Yeah, we don't need all. We got the Ultimate Universe. This is modern. It's modern.
As I like to call it, with teenage raging hormone Hulk and Captain Dude Bro America.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. That a lot of that, like I remember, like seeing the Ultimate stuff starting off, like the Ultimate Spider-Man and all of that, and I remember just being like I said, it just seemed like that was the time when I was like, this isn't. I don't know. I'm not getting comics. I'm just like every now and then like, oh, okay, here's like I remember getting the From Hell collection, right? Like I'd always wanted that as a kid, and I remember like the movie was coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna get the collection because like I never got to get it as a kid, and now here it all is, rather than trying to track down 12 or 13 issues or whatever of obscure, expensive comic book. Get the collection. And that was so I'm saying, like, that would be 2001, maybe 2003, that period. Like the internet was not what it is now. So like,
you really had to like search for stuff. You couldn't just go to eBay. Like you had to go on like chat board, like, hey, has anybody got this issue, man? I'm looking for it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like and it's weird because like now, like that's how I want to get comics. Like it feels like I'm cheating if I just go on eBay and like,
it's like, oh, click, boom.
There it is.
Okay. No, you want to have like that. Like you got to meet some guy named Steve in the Walmart parking lot at like 2 a.m. because he works third shift and he's coming on his lunch break.
He still has a copy of it. It's amazing, but he got it out of storage.
Make my child support payments. I'll give it to you for $50.
Exactly. Or like I found an issue. Where did I put it now? Of The Crow. Like I found issue 3. That might be the last issue of it. I can't remember. But from like the original like Tundra Publishing, like one of the first printings. Like I found one of those.
Okay.
In like like a dollar bin. I was just like, what? That's mine. That's what I'm saying. Like that's to me, that's the whole like fun of like looking for comics. Is just the random stuff you'll find. Like
it's funny you mention that because it's got me thinking. Because out here in Pennsylvania, down south, it's like between like Erie and Pittsburgh. There's a chain of comic shops owned by this guy, and it's called New Dimension Comics.
Right.
Dude's really, really good with like collections and stuff. Like he keeps his eye on for auctions. Is so cool because like this dude wants to like take his comic shop and make it like the Walmart of comic shops. He wants it everywhere, and I'm like, yes. I want to be able to go to the middle of nowhere and there's a comic shop. Yes. But
they're the ones, they have like a yearly like sale of some kind, like a legendary
their secret warehouse sale. And man, you want to talk sketch. Me and my fiance went to, because we got an invitation because I have a pull list with New Dimensions. And we get the invitation to their secret warehouse sale. We go and legit looks like some rundown ass warehouse on the outskirts of Elwood, PA. There's random cars just parked wherever they can. And mind you, this was like February when we went, so it's like cold. And we go in, there's a bathroom that's been barely fixed up to code for people to use. You go in, there's this giant empty warehouse with all these mismatched long tables there with just like boxes after boxes after boxes of long boxes, and there's a dude with like a big silver tin of coffee and a thing of donuts from Horton's sitting there. It's like, oh, donuts are like $2, so you get some coffee. and you're sitting there and you have to alternate between flipping through and then putting your hands back in your gloves so you can warm them up, because there's like no freaking heat in this big ass warehouse, and you're just
Right.
going through and you're finding like the most random stuff from all of these collections that he's picked up. It is
Oh
like
yeah.
the best time ever. I guys, for like you show up and you're like, yeah, okay, somebody's gonna ask me if I want to make some money if I do something on camera. I just bet you.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like like when places have like a nice like a whole bunch of like like just those random boxes. Like I don't know how they get like that either. Like it's always
It's always some random person's collection. Like they passed away, or they're moving, they're getting rid of stuff, and they're selling it. Guy picks it up, brings it to this warehouse, and just keeps these insane boxes of the most
mm-hmm.
random collections of stuff. I have found so many good indie books by going to like the secret warehouse sales that just has turned me on to so many like good stuff that you don't get to really hear about because it's not, they don't have some giant advertising team. They don't
Right.
have deals with Disney or anything like that, putting their commercial everywhere. It's it's that old school word of mouth. And really that's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, really what I want to do more with Fringe. Like I don't want to, have some freaking billboard with Fringe on it. I want to be able to have people just be like, man, you read that new Fringe Knight comic? Oh, you mean this one I got right here? Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Right.
I kind of
Well,
want to have like that, for lack of a better word, that indie cred to go
right.
with the book. Because
Well,
I'm
it's what I was gonna say is I was thinking about it. Like it feels like we've just kind of gotten to the point where like he's like an established character. You know what I mean? Like the last like the issue 5 was Donna Matrix, right? And like
yeah,
I think you kind of
arc
introduced her
villain.
as a villain, but I could see her potentially just being like a black cat kind of character, or like Catwoman or
Oh,
something. How it's like I
I'm
could
I'm
see
very much
that
going with the
potentially.
philosophy. If you don't see him fall into a vat of acid, they're gonna show up again.
Right, right. So that's what I'm saying. It feels like you're just kind of getting to that point where it's like, okay, we've got the characters here. We've got this is who he is. Like what kind of story is it you want to tell with Fringe Knight? Because that's what I'm saying. It's like I can tell it's like you're not like, okay, here's issue 7 and this is it. Story's over. That's the end. Like you definitely have something
Well, I
like
quite
in
honestly,
mind.
like long script wise, I've already got story arcs going into like the 300s,
Right? Okay. So that's
and
what I'm
I'm
saying.
and
Like,
I'm not done. I'm not done whatsoever.
oh
But
yeah.
no, really, if I did, as long as I have ideas, as long as I can put pen to paper or finger to keyboard, I have stories to tell, and not just Fringe Nut. I've actually got an entire universe of characters that I eventually want to try and get out there.
Right, right. Well, because that's like I notice with Fringe Knight, like I feel like he's almost like the same kind of character as like Batman or something, where it's like a mantle kind of position where he's it's
Yeah, and that's going to be the nice thing, because the one thing I want to keep in mind with Fringe Knight is like he's a normal dude. I'm not going to
right,
take and like reboot the book after X amount of issues because I want to keep Anthony young. Like the character of Fringe Knight can go as long as people want to read it, but
right, right,
the character of Anthony, he's a mortal man. He's going to come to a point where he's going to want to retire, and really anybody could pick up the mantle of Fringe Knight. They could end up stuck with it and not want it. But
right.
the character of the Fringe Knight itself, there's no limits.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like in a sense, like I was saying, like thinking earlier, like it reminds me of like a cross between like Batman and like Doctor Strange, where like Doctor Strange, I'm like they're both like the same kind of idea, like a mantle. With Doctor Strange, he's the current Sorcerer Supreme. Like
Yeah.
whoever the next one is and whoever the last one was, they aren't going to be necessarily anything like him, but like they just have to do some of the same. Protect our dimension from eldritch horrors or
Yep.
whatever.
And Fringe Knight is definitely going to have his work cut out for him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like that's so. Would you say it's going to be more of like a sort of like an episode kind of story, or is it going to be more almost like a
episodic?
like an
I'm
epic?
actually my first 12 issues I'm treating as kind of like year one. Like Fringe Knight year one,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
Because as like right now, as it is, like Anthony's like he doesn't really have his heart into it. He's trying to look for something within the halls of the Arcanum, the headquarters of the Order of Knowledge. We don't know what it is he's looking for just yet, but it's something that's important enough to him that he is coming back. He's putting on this goofy outfit that he just randomly put together because he wanted to mess around with a grapnel device.
Right.
And fight things that most mortal men don't even know exist.
Right.
And so by the end of that first year, it's going to be make or break for him.
Okay.
By the time we get to issue 12, we're gonna really, really kind of put him through the gears there, and it's either gonna, he's gonna man up, or he's gonna be like, nope, I'm out.
Okay. Is it like one of the things I hadn't really noticed before was this is the zombie butler guy that he has with him, right?
Francis.
Like
Good old Francis.
like just like kind of like glancing through the issues and like I hadn't noticed like there's like a big like interplay between both of them. Like he's really I think the way Sam put it is like it's like he kind of like looks down on Fringe Knight. Like he's kind of like feels like he's like he's like he's an old butler, so I mean he's definitely like older and he's got that just,
he literally spent his entire life serving the Order of Knowledge, and then they legit couldn't find somebody to replace him, so they were like brought him back like, yeah, could you keep Killian for a little bit longer? And so he's just like, oh, fine. And then because like so some of the the backstories, like the Order of Knowledge was massive, just incomprehensibly massive, how interconnected they to the very fabric of how human beings live and exist. And then about 30 years ago, the Order had to collectively sacrifice itself to prevent just reality itself from being torn asunder. And legit, all that's left is this zombified butler, who they kind of gave the kids like, hey, we'll be right back. Door closes. So Francis has spent years trying to find anyone who can kind of kickstart rebooting the Order, as it were. Because as it is right now, the Order is just kind of running on autopilot. Nobody knows that they're gone. They just think they've gone even deeper underground. Because like some of the terminology in Fringe Knight is when you come across a magical creature, be it goblin, vampire, werewolf, tree nymph, they're collectively referred to as mythicali or mythicali, depending on your pronunciation.
Okay.
And when a member of the mythicali community sees that symbol on the Fringe Knight, they think he's some sort of black ops, secret police agent sent by the Order to punish them all because they've, become lax in hiding from humanity.
Right.
So a lot of people, it's kind of funny because I try to equate it like if Spider-Man, who's this goofy teenager, showed up at a scene and has the symbol on him, and immediately gets like Batman levels of respect, like, oh sir, he went over there. Oh yes sir, no sir, and he just doesn't know how. He's like, okay, I'll be going then. Thank you. So a lot of it is just kind of playing on that perceived fear that maybe he is some sort of like secret police, black site guy who like if you misbehave, if you try and transform in public, he'll show up and you're gone, your family's gone, your friends are gone, everybody's gone. It's the conspiracy theory within the secret community of monsters.
Now, does Fringe Knight kind of like know that's
not really in the beginning, because again, he's just kind of got under the impression that all the stuff. So yeah, they're gonna assume that I'm with the Order of Knowledge, but yeah, that'll be cool. They'll know I'm the good guy. Not really knowing how deep the roots go, you'll actually kind of get a bit more backstory on that in issue 7. Coming out in 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, excellent. All right.
Because in issue 6, when we're introduced to the Takalu here, you'll definitely see that not everybody sees the Order of Knowledge as good guys per se.
Yeah, see that's what I'm saying. Like they kind of remind me of like the Illuminati in a way, right? Because depending on who you are,
too much, but it's kind of funny because like the Order of Knowledge kind of laughs and like the Illuminati wishes they were like us.
Well, like some people are like for the Illuminati, and they're like, yes, we want to be part of the secret society, and then other people are like against it. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on.
As the name suggests, the Order of Knowledge, their main goal is the preservation and protection of collective human knowledge. And
okay,
like every major inventor, philosopher, teacher has been a member of the Order, from like Leonardo da Vinci to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle to even Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein.
Okay.
And what's interesting is members of the Order are actually referred to as scholars. They're not members, they're not agents or anything.
Right,
because they're scholars. They are scholars of the Order, and their mission is to protect knowledge.
Okay.
And sort of collectively figure out like what knowledge mankind is ready to handle. I mean, every major treaty that has been set up with the Mythicali community for the past like 1,000 years, the Order has been instrumental in implementing it. They've been the one there in the middle at the meeting table as like vampires and werewolves are shaking hands saying, okay, we'll try not to kill each other for a while.
Right. Just tone it down a little bit. Like just
yep. Go have your fight out in like a field somewhere where nobody's watching. That's fine. Yeah, keep it out of the cities, don't and again, like the Order of Knowledge has always tried to like help provide shelter for the Mythicales as well. Like they've established like underground cities for them and whatnot. Because another thing we'll see very soon is the secret monster city underneath Erie.
Oh, wow.
Which you'll all have a good old time exploring.
Well, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you about with this was why exactly Erie? I mean, is it just I assume like you must have like lived there at some point or worked there,
I've done a lot of traveling through Erie, and just I've always found it a very fascinating city with a very deep history, and just
right?
the fact that like there's literally a major metropolitan area called Erie City, and nobody's like done anything with that. No major monster movies or nothing. No local legends of swamp monsters or anything. You've got the swamp monster or the river monster over in Cleveland there, but you
Yeah.
don't have the bog monster of Presque Isle Bay or nothing like that. I felt that was kind of wasted potential, so I was like, you know what, do
I mean,
something a little bit different.
there's supposed to be like a Lake Erie monster, like a sea monster in the lake, but that's not specific to Erie City. That's
Nope,
the
that's
whole
just
of the lake.
specific to
Yeah.
like all of Lake Erie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess I can't think of there ever being any sort of like I mean it is like I agree with you. It's definitely like an interesting like place. Like I've always loved going up there. Like that's
There's
some of the
always
first comics I ever got were from Erie, So
oh yeah.
right on. Well, I guess that kind of explains. So just kind of like you just enjoy uh the
I
history.
enjoy the ambiance of the city, and I enjoy it because it's a major city, but it's not like super well known. It's not well known like Cleveland or Pittsburgh or New York or even Buffalo. It really is like it's an independent city for an independent hero.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense given their own. Oh yeah. Well, so 2 weeks we got issue number 7 comes out. What is it? It's the same price, $5. five
Yep.
dollars for a copy of the book. Excellent. And it'll be what? It'll be at Captain's.
Yep. The release party will be at Captain's, and then by next week it'll be available both online and at other local comic shops.
Excellent. Excellent.
If it's
Well,
not there, tell your comic shop that you want it.
let me see here. I'll go see if I can go back up to the. If I just click that, I'll go back to the home. Yeah. Okay. So is this? I should have a picture of me. It doesn't have a picture of me. Why isn't? You didn't tell them you were going to be on my show? What?
I didn't get a chance to.
Well, okay. I'll let it slip. Oh,
No,
this is
I was too busy on all my other social medias.
it is a lot to like do all the stuff here. Like it is
Yeah,
so. And then like you would think it'd be kind of easier because you have people that are doing the art and but it's like it's then it's like you're adding in like more complications because now you have your own thing organized. You're like editing it, so you have to do all of that.
yep,
You're doing the lettering, writing, and I would assume like setting up all the
yep. Final drafting and working on the publishing. So I am a one man wheelhouse.
so I'm saying that is a lot. And aren't you doing like is there something that you're doing that's remastered?
Yes,
Is
actually,
that
I'm
something
going to be
you've been
working on. I've been working with my good buddy and artist Javier
right?
to go back and be able to actually tell the full story that I wanted with issue 1 because I couldn't do that before because kind of got cut short. And I'm actually remastering issue 1. I'm going to be launching an Indiegogo for it early next year. I'm waiting for a few more pages to come in, and I'm thinking probably around middle of January I'll be announcing the Indiegogo for it.
Fan art too? What?
Oh yeah, that's some very nice fan arts come in.
What? Get out of here.
I might have to do some because people keep showing me Fringe Knight with chains. I'm like, oh man, I think I need to get him a chain or something.
Yeah, like a chain wallet, if nothing else. Like that's like I was always that was a huge thing as a kid. Like you had to
Yeah,
have a chain wallet, you know.
yeah, you weren't cool unless you had a chain wallet. And your mom wouldn't get you one because no, you don't need one.
Do you remember for a while malls wouldn't let you in if you had a chain wallet? Oh, that's
Yes,
too long. They would measure them.
well,
They wanted to measure them. Oh, that's too long of a chain wallet for you there, Sonny. That was I remember.
to which my typical response is, yeah, too long for you, pal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, you got cool fans.
Oh, I definitely think so.
That's pretty good,
A lot
man.
cooler
That's
than
what
me,
I'm saying.
anyways.
This one with him fighting Jason.
Yeah, that one was a fan
Plus one.
did for last Halloween. Not this last Halloween, but last year Halloween.
This one where it just says run. That's like
Yeah, that was from a
that's
good
pretty.
friend of mine. He's actually done the cover for issue 3. His name is Vladis. He lives over in Ireland. So I've
Oh,
got
right
fans.
on.
I've got fans
Oh
over in
yeah.
Ireland. I've got fans over in Australia. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about Fringe Knight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it feels well, like I said, it feels like we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, this is him. Like this is what the deal is. Now let's get to like like think of like in Romeo and Juliet, right? You find out, okay, this
Yep.
is Romeo, this is what's going on. He's got his buddy, he's in love with this girl, this and that. They don't like it. Okay, and so what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Like it feels like we're there. Like that's I always find like interested is just to watch how things progress. You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah.
about like I remember like
And
when Deadpool had first come out. You know what I mean? Like here's this guy, and it was like he was just kind of a side character, and then he just kept growing and growing. Now Deadpool's what like gotta be like one of the top 5 like most popular characters.
well, yeah, at the
I
very
mean,
least, if not top 3, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and just to think like just like I said, like just watching that go from like just a weird like side character in New Mutants and X-Force, like seeing him just go from that because those came
And
out.
legit get like his own series.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like I remember like
Of multiple
video
series.
video games, and it's just like what this is so crazy. Like just see, you know what I mean? And then like you see like another character that came out at the same time that just like never nothing ever happened with. They came out and that was like had 2 issues and then they were gone. So I'm saying it's like you could never really tell what's gonna be the ones that like last and what's the ones that don't. But I mean, 7 years,
Bingo.
7
Yep.
issues, still going. Like for that's the thing too is like 7 years in like indie comics is like that's like 20 years or 30 years in like mainstream comics. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you last for 7 years in indie comics, you're like the old timer now. You're like back in 2017, the first issue came out.
I remember back in 2017, I released the first issue, and I was full of hope. Now I'm just full of aches and pains.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's if it was in mainstream comics, you'd be on like issue like 80 or something. Like
Oh
Fringe
yeah,
Night 83 is coming out next week, and we got the summer bi-weeklies. We got a plan for next year.
gotta get our 50 variant covers ready. Need to have our planned crossover with Adidas and give them a really crappy outfit for 2 issues.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's in indie comics, you're at that level though, because like you've got the toy line coming along here. You got shirts, you got hoodies. So I mean that's what I'm saying. You're doing the damn thing,
I am. I'm putting my heart and soul into it. And for all of you that have read it, thank you so much. Those of you who haven't, go out and buy the book.
Excellent. Well, I'll leave it there. Go out and buy the book. I like that. That's a good ending. And I'll just I can't remember the thing. No, I played the thing that doesn't have copyrighted stuff. Well, you like jazz, right? I'll play us a jazz song. Any last words to give to potential viewers?
If you have a story you want to tell, don't let anybody tell you it's dumb. Get it at least on paper and see if you think it's dumb. If you don't, then there are a select few out there that want to see that story. They want to hear that story because they're tired of all the same story being told over and over and over again. They want something new. And that's what I'm trying to do with Fringe. I'm trying to tell a brand new, unique story, not bogged down by 50 years of continuity red tape and Me Too's and alphabet people trying to get their hands on the piece of pie. Just fresh story, fresh characters, fresh emotions.
Fighting Krampus. Yeah,
attempting to, at least. Will he succeed? We don't know.
Find out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. All the answers will come to you.
Exactly. And it is guaranteed this issue will grow your hair back if you have lost your hair.
Oh, shit. Well, excellent. Okay, well, I'm going to get ready.
But you have to
buy
get like
2.
20 copies for it to work.
Okay, I can do that. I'm going to make some phone calls.
It'll take about half a year for it to kick in.
Okay. Well, I should get some of this in writing, maybe.
It's all there in the little fine print.
All right. Well, I'll guess I'll play some jazz and well.
Kristen Murray's gone out from giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more I didn't need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. Literally come out from under rocks. They have green colored skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. Have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy with sick stuff, man. She sleeps in that same room as a creepy widow woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.